Um, Hello, everybody. Like I promised, I will be actually talking to people who are Kashmiri Pandits, who have maybe this is the new generation which didn't know about first and the genocide, but I have some youngsters with me here, and I would like to know their view about the movie and their view about the whole situation. Let's go with
Um, yeah, though the Kashmir Files was an amazing film for us because a lot of the things we'd heard and we thought we understood, but we didn't. So, like, a lot of the stories for a lot of people would have seemed like exaggerations or fiction, but for us, we could name a time and a place and a face to each one of these stories. And I think universally between us, there was a lot of anger or resentment to the fact that we have been separated from our culture through no fault of our own. And, you know, our family and friends and people we've loved all our lives are in tears because they can't go back to it. So we thought the movie was an incredible way of articulating not only the tragedies that happen in Kashmir, but being treated as refugees in your own country and being mistreated by a government who should have helped you, and also the PTSD and the effect that still lasts to this day. So it's not a matter of fact of, oh, let's just move on, let's forget it. People's livelihoods, people's culture, people's traditions have been taken away from them, and they're being gaslighted into saying it didn't happen. So, you know, we're all very grateful for the movie to be a mainstream kind of source to educate more people about it. So yeah.
okay. How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, and what's your name?
My name is Kashmir Wahi.
Okay. So you're 17 and you are watching the movie now, and this is bringing back the stories that you've heard from other people, right?
Yeah.
So do your friends, your generation friends, British friends know about it?
I think with a situation like Kashmir, everyone's scared to say.
But do they even know that this happened to Kashmiri Hindus?
No, let's forget about
When they say
Britain.
Kashmir,
People
well,
in India don't like my friends in India don't know what's happened.
they don't know what
Kashmir.
happened, no?
Kashmiri Pandits, yeah, and it's always, even if somebody does know, it's yes, this happened, but there's always some sort of justification for it.
Like what about Ray?
Pardon?
Like what about Ray? So this happened, but why don't you speak about this as
Yeah,
well?
but why didn't you do something at that time? Why did you just leave? So nobody yet has been willing to listen. So yeah.
And do you think with this movie that's going to change?
I think this movie has opened a dialogue. It's opened a narrative. People are more willing to discuss because they realize what we want. We don't want to harm anyone. We're not out to get anyone. We just want our home back. We want our culture. We want to be able to educate our children. Like, I can't speak Kashmiri, and that's something that my mom's always, you know, been regretful of because she's never had the opportunity to teach me because I've been so separated from that culture. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, I'm Sam. I also just recently saw Kashmiri Files, and the first thing that comes to my head is the fact that this happened so recently, right? And I just can't still get my head over the fact that we are still in this phase that we don't know, yet it happened. And we've decided not to listen. Not just the fact that we didn't know, we just decided not to listen. The entire nation did. This is easily the darkest day of humanity, not just India alone. Because not only did we suppress the real victims, we turned our backs to them at the time when they needed us the most. And as a young person who's heard these stories from their grandparents who want to go back, but their time has passed now.
Okay. So do you ever regret not going back? I mean, going home, visiting the cities as a child, like people like us, we have our Nana ji's house, Nani ji's house.
Yes.
Do you ever think that there is no place you can go back to and have your like chutti or holidays?
Yes, I regret that, and I also regret the fact that I was also submerged in this narrative that nothing happened when I am part of the very community that suffered so much. I feel upset that I didn't do much to chase this up forward as well.
So, Sam, I've got someone saying here that because you're talking in English, and they are saying that it's a fashion. So these are children who actually were denied their own culture. They were denied learning their own language in their own country. But I'll ask him if he knows his language. Yeah.
अगर ये फैशन तल बकैर कश्मीरी मज यूता कथ करे मैं छु पानस यूता टाइम दियुतमुत कि
So you
बहक
can
ये है
speak Kashmiri.
मैं
Amazing.
कोर पानस सहित कि बहक वापस गसित अगतो तो यमन सहित कथ करित कैसे मैं छु सिर्फ ये मैं छु सिर्फ ये बूझमुत मगर वनिस्तान ओस न मैं वुचमुत के मगर वइन मैं वुच तो मैं कोर महसूस तो ये क्या छु असलियत मस भाई बहक ने याद वइन पतकीन वुच तो वनित वाह सॉरी छु ठीक क्या काम ना
ये बच्चा कश्मीरी है, ये इंग्लैंड में पला बड़ा है, ये ब्रिटिश है. आप इससे कैसे हिंदी में बात करना पूछ सकते हैं? आपको कश्मीरी आती है? आपको कश्मीरी नहीं आती है तो आप एक बच्चा जो कभी अपने वतन में नहीं रहा, आप उससे कैसे एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि वो आपसे हिंदी में बात करे, जबकि उसकी खुद की मदर टंग वो बोल रहा है, इतने अच्छे से बोल रहा है. आई थिंक यू शुड अपलॉड दैट ही कैन स्पीक हिज लैंग्वेज, स्टेइंग समवेयर ही इज नॉट स्टेड, यू नो. अमेजिंग, वेल डन.
थैंक यू
आप हिंदी में बात करेंगे बिकॉज हमारे लोग इंग्लिश शायद समझते नहीं है.
मेरा नाम दीपक है. तो मैं ये बताना चाहूँगा पहले तो थैंक्स टू विवेक अग्निहोत्री एंड पल्लवी जोशी एंड द प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ द मूवी फॉर टेकिंग दिस इनिशिएटिव. इट मीन्स अ लॉट टू मी पर्सनली बिकॉज आई एम समवन जिसने 5.5 साल की उम्र में ये चीज़ें देखी है. मैं अपने उस छोटे से बच्चे के टाइम को उसको याद करता हूँ कि व्हाट आई हैव फेस्ड एट दैट टाइम. मुझे याद है नवंबर 89 के टाइम में हम कैसे रात को 4 बजे अपने घर से भागे थे. क्योंकि मेरे पिताजी को एक मस्जिद में लेके जाया गया था उनको मारने के लिए. कुछ आइडेंटिटी कन्फ्यूजन हुआ और उस आइडेंटिटी कन्फ्यूजन में मेरे फादर वहां से बच के निकल गए और उसी रात हम 4 बजे अपने गाँव को छोड़ के भागे. मुझे ये भी याद है कि कैसे मेरी नानी हीट स्ट्रोक से मरी है कैंप में, जैसे कि मूवी में दिखाया गया, क्योंकि उन्होंने कभी देखा ही नहीं था कि जम्मू की गर्मी क्या होती है. उस जम्मू की गर्मी को वो सहन नहीं कर पाई और शी पास्ड अवे. शी कुड नॉट सर्वाइव फॉर 11 days इन द हीट ऑफ जम्मू. सो ये सब जिनोसाइड के विक्टिम्स हैं, हम सर्वाइवर्स हैं. काफ़ी कुछ हुआ है हमारे साथ, काफ़ी बड़ी त्रासदी हुई है. मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ कि ये जो मूवी में दिखाए गए पिता और पुत्र जिनको पेड़ से लटकाया गया, ये मेरे नेबरहुड के लोग थे. सर्वानंद प्रेमी जी ये मेरे नेबरहुड के लोग थे. मैं मिला नहीं हूँ क्योंकि मैं छोटा था, लेकिन मेरे इनकी फैमिलीज ये एक दूसरे को जानते हैं जिनको ये पेड़ पे लटकाया गया. तो ये जो मूवी है ये तथ्यों से पूरी परिपूर्ण है. इस मूवी में काफ़ी सच बताया गया है. हम निकल के एक कमरे में 10 साल रहे हैं, जब अपनी लाइफ को दोबारा से रिपेयर करने में, फिर से खड़े होने में हमने ये सब चीज़ें देखी है. मैं आपको एक और चीज़ बताऊंगा. ये जो रलेव गलीव चलेव का है, ये मैंने आपको पहली बार कब सुना है? मैं जब वही 5.5 साल का था. हमारे पड़ोस में एक फैमिली थी, कश्मीरी मुस्लिम फैमिली. उनका बेटा जो है हमारे घर में खेला करता था, तो मेरी माँ भी उसको अपने बेटे की तरह ही ट्रीट करती थी. तो एक दिन उसने मेरी मदर को बोला रलेव गलेव चलो. मेरी मदर ने बोला कि ये इतना छोटा बच्चा है, ये कहाँ से, क्योंकि सुनने में आता थे, कुछ टाइम से सुनने में आ रहा था कि रलेव गलेव सलेव क्या है. मेरी मदर ने जब उसकी मदर को बोला आउट ऑफ कंसर्न कि छोटा बच्चा है, क्या बोल रहा है, यू शुड नॉट स्पीक सच थिंग्स. तो उसकी मदर, जो उस लड़के की, उस निक्का नाम था, उस निक्के की मदर जो है, उस मेरी मदर को कहती है हाँ ये इसके पिताजी आते हैं शाम को मस्जिद से और इनको सिखाते हैं कि क्या है रलेव गलेव सलेव. जो है 7-8 साल का बच्चा जो है मेरी मदर को, मेरे घर में जिसको वहाँ बच्चे की तरह ट्रीट किया जा रहा था, ही इज टेलिंग माई मदर या तो आप कन्वर्ट हो जाओ, या तो आप भाग जाओ, या तो आप मर जाओ. तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि क्या हो रहा था.
तो हम जब ये लिख रहे थे इसके बारे में, कल ग्रुप में सिर्फ मूवी का डिस्कशन कर रहे थे, तो लोग हमें कह रहे थे कि यू हैव बीन ब्रेन वॉश्ड एंड यू आर फ्रॉम बीजेपी. आपको लगता है किसी भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ने उस समय आपकी बात सुनी, या आपको लगता है?
नहीं, कुछ ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ था. मुझे पता है कि कैसे हम 10 साल एक कमरे में रहे. मैं कहूँगा कि हमारे आर्थिक स्थिति थोड़ी अच्छी थी, शायद हम एक कमरा अपने लिए अफोर्ड कर सके. मेरे अपने मामा जी जो पुरखू कैंप दिखाया गया है वहाँ पे रहे 10 साल. जब उसके बाद उनको कुछ एक रूम का सेट मिला, ऐसी चीज़ें रही है. उस स्थिति में जो भी पढ़ाई पे फोकस था काफ़ी, कि पढ़ना है, आगे बढ़ना है. पेरेंट्स का फोकस था, दे सैक्रिफाइस्ड अ लॉट फॉर अस, फॉर द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, कि हम कम कपड़े पहनेंगे, हम कम खाएंगे, बट पढ़ाएंगे बच्चों को.
So coming back to padai, I was watching one video on Facebook. It just came on my timeline, okay, and I saw some Muslim person saying कि कश्मीरी पंडितों के जाने से हमें हमारा एजुकेशन चला गया, आप वापस आओ, वी वांट दिस एजुकेशन. माँ सरस्वती मैंने मूवी में देखा, जिक्र माँ शारदा का, एंड आई थिंक दैट हैज बीन योर बिगेस्ट वेपन, द एजुकेशन, बिकॉज ऑफ विच यू आर इन दिस कंट्री. सो do you think that is what has helped you to come to a different country and talk about your story, or you are like having that status to even stand here and talk about it in London? Do you think education helped you?
Yes, education helped us a lot, and blessings of my parents, our ancestors, who always put emphasis on the education. I would also like to tell you that this thing that they are very sad about us leaving, they have captured our properties. They have, so my house has been actually there is tampering of records. It has been encroached by people. It is under occupation of some other people, so the Kashmiri Muslims there, for past 32 years. So this is, so why would they be unhappy with us leaving if they are actually, they are living by occupying our houses, our properties, and they are making money over that. So they are happy that we have left. They are not happy with us returning back and to ask them question, oh, this was my house, what are you doing here?
That's quite sad कि आपके पास अपना कहने को घर भी नहीं, और अब अपना घर नहीं होना और कोई और उसको छीन ले, वो दुख कुछ और ही होता है.
बहुत ज़्यादा दुख है, बहुत ज़्यादा है. बहुत हम लड़े सिस्टम के साथ. मैं भी काफ़ी चिट्ठियाँ भेजी अपने जो वहाँ डिस्ट्रिक्ट है कश्मीर में, उसके डिप्टी कमिश्नर को चिट्ठी भेजी. कोई कुछ नहीं, कुछ जवाब नहीं है, कोई समाधान नहीं है. और मेरे पिताजी जो है, ही पास्ड अवे इन December 2020. On his deathbed, he had this character of Pushkar Nath in the movie, played by Anupam Kher. I could recall my father, like on his deathbed, he said कि मैं ब्रंगी में नहाना चाहता हूँ. Brangi was a river which was flowing through our village, and on his deathbed he actually mentioned that I want to take a bath in that river, and he could not take that bath.
And that saddens you.
Yes, it will be with me till my last breath. This pain will be with me till my last breath.
I hope that you are able to get a closure with this movie, and I hope that
I'm not getting a closure with this movie, but definitely this movie is an important milestone. Nobody has spoken about us. It has been brushed under the carpet for years. Politicians have spoken a lot of Kashmiriyat, Insaniyat, Jamhuriyat, which is all sorry, pardon my language, it's all bullshit. We know we are the victims of the so-called Kashmiriyat. So it will, only the justice gives you closure.
but at least अब इस बारे में बात हो रही है.
Yes, very
आप
important,
इसका
very important
अपॉर्चुनिटी का फायदा उठा के कुछ कैंपेन चलाना चाहते हैं?
नहीं, कैंपेन हम कर रहे हैं, पिछले 30-32 साल से कर रहे हैं. हमारे आई वुड से कि अब ये छोटे छोटे नए बच्चे हैं, ये आगे बढ़ाएंगे इस चीज़ को. हम चाहते हैं कि जैसे नाजीज ने ज्यूज के साथ किया, ज्यूज विल नेवर फॉरगेट दैट होलोकॉस्ट, नीदर वी विल, even if we get justice, but we cannot forget what has happened to us, because past and the history provides us the guidance on how to live your life in future, how to protect yourself from the harm, how to protect yourself from the ideology, from the that says that जो निज़ाम मुस्तफ़ा कहता है उसी को जीने का हक है, बाकी सबको मर जाओ. ये हमें उस चीज़ को समझना है. इस चीज़ को समझ के ही हम आगे जिंदा रह सकते हैं.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hello.
Reenu Mathu. Yeah, I think the Kashmir Files has basically raised awareness amongst the youngsters, and there ought to be so many Krishna Pandits who need to understand what's actually happening at the ground, and I wish that the youngsters they do understand that how the different narratives, I would say the false narratives, can confuse them, but they need to understand the truth.
So you are from Kashmir. Have you lived there as a child?
I have been through all of this. Yeah, I have been through all of this, and every word, every statement, every scene, every surrounding in this Kashmir Files is the truth. I don't know how else to make all of you understand कि ये सच है, ये सिर्फ सच है, और उन्होंने हमें सुना और सच आपको दिखा रहे हैं. And I feel like, you know, it can happen anywhere. It can happen here. So we all need to be aware of it. Rest, yeah.
So you are quite young, right? How old are you?
I'm 22, and I just watched Kashmir Files today as well. And yeah, so my thoughts on this film are that it's really eye-opening. My parents are Kashmiri, and in that sense, I should know a lot of what's happened. But to a large extent, a lot of these facts are news to me. It's quite shameful that I'm just finding out what the Kashmiri Pandits really went through. And I guess, in a sense, me and possibly quite a few other youngsters who are watching this movie would feel a connection to the character Krishna Pandit, who was portrayed as a person who was again a son of one of these survivors, or rather his parents had got killed in Kashmir. And I think to some extent we relate that we are so oblivious to the fact that all of this has happened, that even if you ask in Kashmiri Pandits themselves, like us youth, we can't tell you much about what really went. And I guess watching this kind of showed us a lot more, because our parents talk about Kashmir a lot, but they always talk about all the positive aspects. They talk about all of the beauty of Kashmir, all of their culture, and they try and connect us as much as they can while we are so far away from Kashmir, and we may or may not be able to go back. So from their side, I guess it's a really great effort, but also I think it was important for us to know what truly went behind the scenes.
So you are aware, I mean, you could know a few things today, but you are living in London, you know, you're living with a crowd which is global. It knows about what's happening in Ukraine, which talking about what's happening in, you know, basically lot of freedom, LGBT community, this, that. Does this world know anything about your community, guys? Does it know?
I really don't think so.
Do you ever think that it's awkward conversation that you want to have with your friends? Do you want to tell them? Do they, like your generation doesn't want to listen?
Oh no, I think after watching this movie, I would definitely get my friends to have a look, and just to see what happened, just so that they know, because I don't think any of my friends would know anything about Kashmiri Pandits and what really happened. So I guess this movie is a great first step in bringing that truth back out, so that we can finally start to get closure.
Okay, I wish you guys get closure. You want to have a say?
Hello, I'm Jagasa, and I think the movie Kashmir Files, I just watched it, and it was an experience to sit in the cinema, and I was clutching onto the seats of the cinema, and it felt like a ride to see all of these emotions really being brought out, to hear all of those words, to hear these stories that we've heard from our parents before. They've told us, we've heard it as words, but seeing it graphically, I think that really touched our hearts. And I've written poems about Kashmir before. I've written stories from what I can imagine in my head, but seeing all of this come out, it was just a fraction of the story that I knew. It's so shattered, so fragmented, everything about Kashmir, and suddenly I think this movie really brought together all of those bits and pieces and is presenting this to the world. And finally, I think people won't know me just as Jia, the Indian, but maybe Jia, the Kashmiri. And I think it's really opened the discussion, opened the conversation, has given us a voice, and I think I thank Agnihotri for that.
Thank you. Shifalika, you want to? Okay.
Yeah, we are going to talk together.
Yeah.
Let's get out.
So these are the ladies with me from Kashmiri group. They had actually invited me over today. They have worked for the last, I think, 2.5 months to bring this movie to London. And they actually had a very tough time trying to get the screens, trying to convince people, trying to get people to watch it. So I will just ask Shifalika, Sonal, Pooja and Renu all how easy was for them to get the conversation started in a community which doesn't understand the problem, you know. So let's have a word with them.
So Meenal, we have to start 2 years back when the filmmakers, they came to London as a part of their worldwide, research tour. So all of us who are here, they interviewed us. We told them our stories, because as you said, the stories are unheard. no one knows, as you yourself said just now. So all of us who are here, we told them our stories, and similarly they went to US and they went to camps in India and they collected all the stories. So yeah, it's a very special day for us to watch the movie, and that's why we were all watching it together today. Pooja has watched it twice already. Thrice.
Third day.
So we kind of, I'm going to watch it again a couple of times, because it is it's very real for us, you know. So the scenes you see in the movie, this is what actually happened. That's why you must have seen, you know, a lot of people, they broke down in the theater. You know, I had my friends sitting right and left, and they were all breaking down. And
Yeah, I had the lady
I
next to me
was-
crying like
I was-
continuously.
This.
I was like, what, you know. But amongst all this grief, you know, there's a lot of pride in what has actually come on screen today, because for 32 years, you know, the stories have been untold. No one has talked about it. So hats off to Vivek Agnihotri and Palvi Joshi and the team of I Am Buddha, who finally got our stories from real life to real life. Yeah, Pooja, what do you think?
And these all stories are our stories. Everybody of us, we have a story to tell. Everyone. And actually, thanks. We have so much immense gratitude for Vivek ji for bringing this up. That's why I was in shock the first time I saw it. It was unbelievable. Like, I mean, we were just living that. It was our truth. The first time somebody had shown it.
Apart from seeing all this on the screen, there was a lady next to me sitting, and her father was actually killed, brutally killed. And can you imagine the pain how she was crying, watching the same things on the screen? It all is truth.
Yeah, I met
Go and
her
watch
after the
it.
movie. I was like, she was.
Yeah, so we had in the audience, like they said, her father was killed. You know, so we were a much bigger crowd, so we have kind of shunned, because people have been so traumatized, they've all gone home. So it's just us left now, because they couldn't just stand it. You know, it reminded them, you know, the girl we were talking about, that her father was killed. Then the truck scene where people were going, you know, and a lot of us have experienced that. You know, leaving everything and then being boarded in a truck, then, you know, being in a truck and then having to go to Jammu, and then, you know, Renu here, she wrote her story, didn't you? You wrote your story in that
Yeah,
book.
the
That
camps.
what happened, the camps, yes.
Yeah, where this Anupam Kharji, he is outside the camp, and he's
Hearing that
almost
song.
licking that biscuit.
And there's a
that's
song
how
at the
parents
back.
were sacrificing the food for their children, and how the next door or what tent,
The lady, yeah.
somebody would be reminiscing the fact that they're out of their houses and they're waiting still to go to their homes, and then somebody suddenly dying. It was trauma, and we lived it for 30 long years.
And our parents, they were just focusing on our education. That was their
I
main
think that's
focus.
been, I think for me personally, the biggest thing has been that we've been talking about this for decades, and this somehow makes the burden lighter. Now it just feels like I'm not the only one, or, you know, we're not the only ones sort of talking individually. There's a much bigger voice. There are people behind us.
Finally, the rest of India
Finally,
is
you
hearing
know what
you.
we went through. You know what I felt when I left home. You know what I felt when somebody was gunned down in front of my house. You know the terror, the sheer terror. And they're not going to tell us that tum bahut, you know, you were cowards. Because they used to call us cowards. They used to say, you're cowards, that's why you left, why didn't you fight? Now, you know, just a tiny teensy bit of the story. Hopefully it'll start a conversation.
Yeah, the scene, you know, where the 4 IAF officers are killed, that happened outside your house.
Yeah.
And, you know, she was very young then, obviously, and so she actually heard the gunshots of people being killed. So every scene in there, it's different scenes, kind of we are recollecting. So with the gunshot scene, she's probably identifies with that. Some people identify with the truck scene. I mean, you know, when they showed the 2 corpses, because I know that family whose son and father were killed. I know them quite well. They are related to us. And so they were the father. He was a teacher of the village, and he was really well respected. But that didn't stop his students from abducting him in the middle of the night And his young son, who was 24 or 25, he said, "No, I can't let you go on your own, so I'll come with you." So he went with it, and both of them were shot, and they were hung from the tree. And that's the scene he has captured in the movie. So yeah, so the family obviously
it
they
was
have
the
struggled.
details
It,
as
it
well
was the
for us.
details for us. It's the
Because even the
details.
little posters, the newspapers, everything.
Like I read on Facebook when you mentioned that when you heard Benazir Bhutto's
Absolutely.
speech,
Triggers. It's really, really traumatic.
it's like a trigger of the
Triggers.
trauma that you've
Yeah.
gone through, isn't
The
it?
posters that we saw, they used to
Absolutely.
stick them on our
Yes,
doors.
absolutely.
Every
Announcements,
Announcements,
every
exactly, it
evening
was
announcements to the
the same.
mosques. That was
Yeah, announcements were like, regular. This is Islamic State. This will become Islamic State, and यहाँ क्या चलेगा? Mustafa, Nizam and Mustafa, and then also I remember, when the girls and women are told to go to attic and hide. My grandmother had told
I know
us
that story.
in
Okay.
our neighborhood that where to run, how to, and she told me that when it happened long time back before 1947, same thing had happened at that time, and my grandmother told me to get the Kashmiri mirchi, the green, red sort of, and she told me also the ashes of, like you have in Kashmir, you have in the winter time you have a lot of ashes from the coal and everything. So she told me that if someone comes, this is what you should. So we were preparing all that, and the neighborhood girls were told to hide in attic, or there was a violin at the back, how we have to escape. And one of my known sort of relatives, her mom had given her some sort of some poison. So girls, Kashmiri Pandit girls were told, because we were hearing in villages that they are massacring people. And this is, I'm the city, I was a city dweller. So we were hearing from when the Tiklar people died. I was coming out, I was coming back from school. Suddenly it happened. So one of my, there's so many stories to tell. One of my cousin sisters, brother-in-law was stabbed, and that's the first killing where the chief minister had come. So basically, so it's so many traumatic. This movie is really, really just 1% of what we
I
have
see
seen.
the iceberg.
Just
I
just
just
the
iceberg.
iceberg. There's so much.
So, but the good thing is the conversations have started, and this movie is going to do really well.
Like I met someone at the theater, and she told me that her mama told her mom, or that if basically this happens, I will kill you. I mean, I'll help.
That's like 50% of the.
And this is actually exactly what I have read in, or I've seen a video of Sikh community in 1947, where they killed their own sisters and mothers to save them from
We couldn't actually keep the lights on. So first of all, we didn't have electricity very often, and then we used to have days when you couldn't actually turn the lights on. So when you see in the film that the curtains are drawn, they're kind of tightly shut. That's what we used to do. We used to have lamps, the kerosene lamps that they were carrying. Those are the ones we used to have. Those are kind of, even the smells, you can't actually smell things from the film, but when I saw this, you could actually smell the kerosene, because and a lot of the girls were told, if anything happens, you need to use the spare kerosene. That's what you need to do, because otherwise, because we'd read in the newspapers. We didn't have mobiles, we didn't have tech. It was just from newspapers what we could glean, and we knew that something bad was happening, and it was just coming for us.
So for me, I mean, I have not read much about Kashmir. I've known more after coming to UK, and there was this scene where they show basically the saw with what you cut the wood. So the first minute that they showed the saw, for me that was quite chilling, and I'm not even Kashmiri. I'm just a person from Bombay. So how did you guys?
Even then, I can see the tears in your eyes, my darling. That is what we want. That's what we want.
So, meaning about the sauce, there's this thing that people say, oh, you should have gone back. So as they showed in the movie, some people did go back. Like that lady who was killed, and some people had jobs, so they had, they were given, like, they couldn't survive in the camp, so they were told, okay, if you go back, you'll have a job. So some people did go, and that's how they ended. The lady who was cutting the saw, she had gone back to collect her salary or something, and
She was told that she can come and collect.
she was told, okay, you come and she was.
So they had asked her to go and collect this.
Yeah, they told her, you come and collect your Girja Tikku, you come and collect your salary. And so she went home. She was abducted by her own neighbors, because she was blindfolded, and the neighbors, she could hear their voices in the taxi. and she was pleading them because she used to think they're like her brothers. You know, when you live in this kind of community and everybody is brother or sister, because she recognized their voice, she told them, "Where are you taking me? You know, you're like my younger brother." And then they shut up, and then they took her, and that's the Saw scene, and yeah, horrific things
That's
happened
not
to
the
her.
only thing they did
Yeah,
to
they were
her
horrific,
before.
and these were
So
her-
I had read the story and they said that actually raped her and then they cut her into
Absolutely,
pieces.
absolutely. So he didn't show the whole thing. It's difficult. There's so many stories. You can't show everything. But I think he's done a very good job. He's shown some really specific things which kind of happened. Yeah.
I mean, I can say that when I was in school, with the movie, I could relate that when you're walking and on the road, you have got these, the terrorists walking with a big gun. I can recognize my bag. I'm just trying to hide because they were freely walking, and I know that how they tried to basically take over the government. Like the police was not helping. There was no administration. Everybody thought that this will become Pakistan in just they'll become Pakistan in a week's time.
It was just going to happen.
And what they did is, like my father, other uncles and all, they were told to be part of the they used to go to UN, United Nations, and then the demonstrations for freedom, this that. So they would keep the Kashmiri Pandits
In the
lined
front.
up in the front
For the
And my
media
father, uncles,
publicity.
everybody forcibly at the
At the
almost,
gun.
they would have killed them. So they had to go. The reason was that they said, when the police will or whoever, they thought that army.
So are you saying that the way they use the character of Krishna Pandit in the front,
Yes.
saying that
They
look,
would
a
kill
Pandit
the
is
first-
saying that
yeah.
there are atrocities made,
And
that is how
I
basically they did
remember
it.
in my, I was told by some people whom I sort of acquaintances. They said, "How many brothers you are?" I said, 2. He said, "1 you have to give to Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front as a terrorist." He said you have to, if you have to.
So
stay
that
here."
was actually spoken
Yes,
so
yes,
openly.
Yes. I was told in college. I was told in the college that I am not supposed to. I should say that I'm not a Hindu. And I said I can't say that. You have to. And there were segregations in the college that my friend, very good friend. I don't know whether she will be watching me somewhere in the world. She used to eat nice, Kashmiri Hindu food and all with me. And we were told, she said, "I can't sit with you in the college park." I said, "Why?" She said, "They'll kill me." And we were told at that time you have to wear a bindi, and the Muslims, so that they have to wear a hijab.
So they can differentiate,
And
okay.
that was so that they could hit the right people. So we were literally the people who were moderate Muslims, for example, people who were friends.
Yeah, they're
They
not
told
everybody
us
is
that you
like
have to
bad,
leave
yeah.
and- And also there were acid attacks. The girls who would not,
Cooperate.
There were acid attacks in the downtown. So there's so much to tell. I think I can spend months and months to tell.
Small
a story.
incident I'll tell you. Once I went to a shop, I had to buy something, and I was just looking at one handkerchief, and the shopkeeper said, "Take this one. This is from Pakistan. This is a nice one." And I just got angry. I just threw it, and I said, "I don't want anything from Pakistan. I want everything from India." And I just left. And after a few months, I think 2 or 3 months, I saw him in the TV. He was one of the terrorists. So it was like, and it was a common thing.
Yeah, I mean, it
They
was
were
very
there in
common.
the open. They were just there. You'd go to the shop, they would be there. And the parents you saw, they would actually have guns inside, and you could just see.
Yeah,
that-
like
and
how
it-
he
it's
showed
kind of
when
just that.
the Farooq Abdullah character came
Yeah.
down.
They
Yeah.
were carrying guns openly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'll,
think what's- yeah.
I know it is very cool, but yeah, आप लोग, Amar, you are as well, yeah. So
One
Lakshmi,
thing I would like to tell, the story of Sharda, that she was actually cut into 2 halves using the carpenter's saw machine. So her niece has actually made a post on Instagram today. So it is a factual story. Her niece has put a post on Instagram today, and this is the actual story of Girija Tikku.
and what's sorry, I can't read.
Maybe
Yeah.
send it on a tag.
Yeah. Send it. I mean, post it
Yeah.
in below this, and you can actually show. And it is very chilling actually to even look at that saw. And I mean, the child watching his mother being cut must have been so traumatic for the child as well.
So I didn't live in Kashmir. I lived in Kashmir for 2 years, 88 and 89, and I was very, very little. So, and I've been campaigning for the rights of Hindus and Kashmiri Pandits, and for so many years. We go back so many years.
But today is the first time I actually sunk in what really had happened to the community. I was 27 when I realized that my community had gone through this, and I kind of started realizing that. So I broke down today and I was shaking. I think I'm still.
Yeah, I could actually. Sonal took like literally 5-10 minutes to even gather herself. So it was a traumatic thing to watch, even for me. And I'm not like I've never seen trauma except for what happened in India House. But apart from that, I've never seen that kind of trauma. So
if you remember all the things that we've been doing all these years, first getting everybody of us to write down our first person accounts. The first time I sat down with our friends and I said, we need to write our stories, you need to write it down. It was so hard. Nobody wanted to even remember that. So can you imagine from that point where it was just almost impossible? I've seen families crying and breaking down. I've sat down and cried with them, yet it didn't sink into me because my story is almost, I could have gone Krishna's way, the young boy they've shown, because I studied journalism, I did my master's in human rights, so the natural direction to take would have been the UN, and I did work with the UN, so it was kind of, I was following that track. But then because I came in contact with fellow Kashmiris, I realized, I heard from people, it's almost stigmatized to be a Hindu. So my, wearing sari and bindi, that too in the UK, and it's become now, I'm known to be this way, but then it hasn't been an easy thing to do in this country either. And I go to Kashmir every year. Some of my friends, who you spoke to earlier, Sonal has never been to Kashmir since.
After that,
she's my best friend, so I've said to her so many times, chal chalte hain, let's go, come with me, I go every year anyways. So she says, I'm not going as a tourist, what do I go back to? Today I realized what that actually meant, why she wouldn't want to go. I mean, obviously I realized that it's not easy.
मेरा फोन मर गया, मेरे पर्स में बैटरी चार्जर है, बट